Do we have the Talking Football channel
Wait.
comment pinned?
Is Snacks going to just walk in here?
Who cares? Are we live?
Your door's open.
We're live.
That's
Hi.
fine. We're live. What's going on, guys? It's Talking Giants / Talking Football live stream. Justin's going to do a pinned comment for us. How about that? We're here live in Mobile, Alabama from the Senior Bowl. Going to take your questions, so I guess we can do that. You know, we could pull up questions. I'm going to just get out in front of it. I know that the crowd's going to grow as we get. We have not spent any time really looking at the Brian Flores thing, so we're just not going to talk about it. How about that? And honestly, it's not something I want to talk about because I like to talk about football and not things of that nature. So we're just we got the coach we wanted in Brian Daboll. Who did you want, Brian Daboll or Brian Flores? Who did you want, Brian Daboll or Brian Flores?
I could have been talked into Brian Flores, but I was more Daboll than Flores.
Okay, so we'll maybe we'll talk about it on the next podcast, but we just haven't looked into it.
See if it grows.
And people will probably forget about it at that time. All right, so we're live from the Senior Bowl. We're going to try and answer some questions. We'll talk about our day. But how much Giants should we talk? Because we are on the Talking Football channel. So ask us questions about the Senior Bowl players and stuff. But I feel like it was a successful day for us. You know, it was good. We got eyes all over the field. It was a fun day, and I feel like we got a lot done.
It was. We spent a lot of time on O-line, D-line because we're more interested in the Giants than anything else, right? But tomorrow I'm going to walk around and try and look at wide receivers, DBs, as best I can for both practices, which we anticipate is going to be indoors, right?
I would say so.
But I don't know if we're going to – I don't know. I'm just literally ignoring the weather reports tomorrow. I'm just pretending they go away.
We got a little lucky today. It was sunshiny, and then it really looked like it was going to rain, and then it just got cold instead.
How are we?
We're good.
I think we might just have to talk about the Giants because this is where the stream is coming from, and it's for our Talking Giants crowd, but it's sponsored by the Talking Football channel, and the Talking Football channel have that. Can we talk about the offensive? Let's talk about the offensive coordinator a little bit because by the next podcast I'll probably have the news. Pretty deflating that they're not going to get Ken Dorsey, especially as it seemed like it was a done deal. Bobby Thompson, I trusted him so much, and he let me down. But it's I will get over it eventually, but it's a tough time right now. But the Giants didn't get Ken Dorsey. But the three names that came from Mike Garafolo, like those all sound like good names. Pep Hamilton, who was like
definitely, I like him better.
I was going to say he might be a better candidate than Ken Dorsey, but it was like just the perfect. Ken Dorsey might have been two for me. You know, when last year when I thought the Giants were going to fire Jason Garrett, Ken Dorsey and Pep Hamilton were the two names that like stuck out to me. And then Mike Kafka of the Chiefs. Again, we don't know much about what he does, but we know the Chiefs are pretty damn good. And then Chad O'Shea, who was another guy we looked at last year and thinking that Garrett was going to be fired, who I watched some of his Miami film, and nothing spectacular. It's not some amazing scheme, but good stuff. And he spent the last 2 years with Stefanski in the wide zone scheme. So there's things from that. So like those three names, I'll be happy with all of them. Pep Hamilton's the one, though, that is in my want right now because of his work with QBs in the past.
Yeah, absolutely.
And most recently, Justin Herbert.
And Davis Mills this year for the Titans, the Texans did halfway better. Again, if these guys haven't called plays before, it's hard to judge them. You know, you're kind of just going off what they did. But Pep Hamilton has the best track record of working with different QBs and having them better. So
have they pretty much locked themselves into the Giants? Pretty much locked themselves into that Daboll isn't calling plays?
No, I think that comment was like they thought they were getting Ken Dorsey.
Okay.
Not to say that Brian Daboll's for sure calling plays now, but this morning, if they asked me if is Brian Daboll calling plays, I would have said no because I thought they're going to get Ken Dorsey. Now, after Ken Dorsey staying in Buffalo, I'm 51-49 that he won't call plays.
Okay.
I think I agree with that. Mike Kafka is an interesting name that comes up a lot because of his work with Patrick Mahomes, but that's literally kind of the only quarterback he's ever worked with.
Yeah, and that kind of worries me a little bit too because Patrick Mahomes
Patrick Mahomes was one of my favorite quarterbacks in that draft, and I was like, I don't know if the Giants are really in a position to take a QB right now, especially one as raw as this coming out of Texas Tech. I don't know, but I mean, he wasn't just some like. I don't know. He had a fire hose for an arm. He was accurate already.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, but like Mahomes isn't like known for like footwork and stuff like that. It's kind of like the offense. Someone asked, "Who the hell is Football Grump?" Who the hell is Football Grump?
I'm some idiot. My name is Mike, but I run the Just Giants podcast with the Cranky Fan, and
What is Mike? What is the Cranky Fan's first name?
it's also Mike.
How are you guys not just like Giant Mike and Giant Mike as your show
Because
name?
it sounded too weird and hokey and dumb, and he already had the Cranky Fan thing, and I think I had already started the Football Grump Twitter account. And it just seemed like
You're the Grump. I will never call you Mike. Like you are.
it's weird, right?
You know, like if you ever get married, I'll be at your wedding and I'll be like, "Congrats, Grump."
Yeah,
and your wife will be like, "What did he just call you?"
You're gonna be the minister.
Can I go to your wedding?
I guess. Sure. Why not?
I mean, yeah, we're spending a whole week together. We might as well.
I feel like you can be a person that would marry people. I feel like I see that in you.
No,
Ordained
Justin
minister.
will be invited to
Yeah.
my wedding 10 years from now. Grump, we'll see. I think you know what we have a pact. We can go to each other's weddings, snacks. And I'm not even trying
Snacks
to
is in charge of the bachelor parties, and maybe that's it.
I'm not even trying to be funny. Snacks isn't invited to my wedding. Like he's just not that important in my life.
But I mean, I started on my Twitter account cutting my teeth through draft analysis because I'm a bored loser. And I simply did it for no level of clout. I was annoying the Cranky Fan by texting him all day, and it just evolved into a podcast. But this is what I think I do best, honestly. I don't think I break down Giants film as well, even though I do try to do that. But this draft stuff is really what I do.
Justin, you're moderating the chat, so we are down in the Senior Bowl. So let's try and answer Senior Bowl questions that we can, and then we can in the dead time we could talk about like Thomas McGahee and stuff.
There's one thing I guess.
Yes, let's talk about this.
Giants wise, I should address. So Joe Schoen was at the Senior Bowl today. Good looking man, really good looking man. I think I also saw Adam Peters, slightly better looking man, but I mean I don't know if that's how you evaluate.
I saw
NFL
Joe
GMs.
Douglas, the best looking man.
Very true.
Our picture was pretty like well received today. And
I was
realized
going to
how
say
big
I
my
think
hips
all
are.
three of us were the best
I need
looking
to
men.
thin these hips out a little bit. I realized
They don't lie. So
they don't lie.
what were you going to say, Grump?
I was going to say I thought that picture of the three of us, we were the best looking ones there.
It's true.
Also, I am not a
literally
tiny
wearing
baby, by the
long
way.
john. I thought I was going to keep the hoodie on the whole day, and it was a little warm, so I was literally just wearing a long johns as my shirt. But yeah, talk about your Joe Schoen interaction.
Yeah,
'cause
so
I don't think you
Joe-
even told us of this yet.
Joe Schoen was on the phone for the majority of the second practice. I wonder why. Sarcasm. But he was on the phone for the majority of the second practice, and that's around the time where the news broke of the lawsuit. So he was on the phone. But then as he did walk by and he was not on the phone. He was kind of pacing back and forth, but he walked by my general area, and I said, "Hey, Joe," got his attention. I said, "Congrats on the job." And he smiled and gave a thumbs up. And
Did you have to yell?
Warm. No, I just said, "Hey, Joe." No, because literally he was
Use the volume that you used.
Well, he's got a microphone on.
"Hey, Joe."
Oh, so you were close to. I
It
thought
was 10 feet.
when I saw your tweet, I thought you were like, "Hey, Joe, congrats on the job."
He was
And I
like
"Oh,
in
this
a different section at first when we first saw him. Like, he was
Yes.
across the there was no way to access it where he was
so
at first.
he was legit like maybe 10, 15 feet away from me.
Oh, okay. I feel a lot better about your interaction.
No, I didn't like
I was-
flag him down.
I was just like, yeah, I didn't. I know we make a habit of ambushing people at the Senior Bowl.
Look, you.
We are
Talking Giants.
together as one. So
that
that's
was-
pretty cool.
That was the interaction with Joe Schoen. So I mean, nice guy. Gave a nice
Did you
smile
tell him
and a thumbs up.
you're getting sued, Joe? You're getting sued. Check your phone.
No, I left that out.
Check your phone.
Twitter comments luckily said that I should have said that. All right, so I want to start off with this instead of stupid, boring offensive line talk. Which, by the way, I mean, if you really want the offensive line talk tomorrow morning, because of my slow ass computer, it has to be
for
tomorrow
Talking
morning.
Football.
Talking Football. This will not be going on the Talking Giants channel. You have to go to the pinned comment. You have to subscribe to Talking Football. There's going to be a 24-minute video about day one recap of
Good
Senior
video.
Bowl.
Really good video.
I don't know, probably let's just say 9:15 a.m. and that's before the second practices even start. So 24-minute video with Robert.
Robert Smith of Windy City Gridiron.
So he brought a different NFL perspective too, which I think he's smarter than any of us
He's
here.
brilliant. I
Yeah,
like
he
him
is.
a lot.
I won't tell him that, but he is.
He's smarter than any of us here. So really, really fun day one recap, and it's shorter, 24 minutes than this live stream. Anyway, Malik Willis, how did he look day one? Intriguing prospect. So that's the guy that I actually watched the most while Grump and Bobby were really watching the offensive lineman, there is a different level of zip on the balls that he throws. I mean, it's different. And usually you hear, the NFL talking points and NFL analysts all the time say, oh, when Mahomes throws it, when Josh Allen throws it, when X quarterback throws it, there's a different zip on it. But seeing it actually being down there and seeing it, it was something to really, really behold. He was running, the guys were running some mini posts and he was hitting them, and it was just like, wow. So that was really jaw dropping kind of right there from the start. And there was some other stuff that we can talk about too with Willis.
Yeah. And you'll hear us talk about this on the video, but Malik Willis was my year's guy to like, hey, get us behind you. Like, have a good weekend and get us more interested in you. And I don't think he missed some throws. Like, he definitely has accuracy and issues. Like, it's 100% an issue, his accuracy. But he has more good plays than bad plays, and the good plays they're great.
They're wow.
And
wow
this
plays.
is at the Senior Bowl where he's not going to be really using his legs the way he would in a normal 11-on-11 football game, where it's like, hey, you're supposed to throw the ball, you're not supposed to run.
These drills are designed for Malik Willis to look bad, I think. I mean, like, they're not made specifically to make him look bad, but he's going to look bad at first at these drills. These are not his wheelhouse, and this is what he needs to get better at, quite frankly. As far as the zip on the ball, I mean, I don't think you even have to know anything about football to walk into that practice and see that he's got like a different level of arm. But I wonder if, like Josh Allen, right? Just picking a random guy with a cannon for an arm, right? Like, can Josh Allen actually throw consistently the exact same way Malik Willis has, but chooses not to because it's not always needed? Because I mean, one of the things that we talked about is that like some receivers were really dropping balls because they're coming at him at like a million miles an hour.
From Malik Willis specifically.
Right. But I wonder, is Josh Allen capable of doing that, but knows he shouldn't, so he doesn't? Like, does Malik Willis have a talent that other quarterbacks don't, or do quarterbacks know not to do that? That's what I don't know. Ultimately, it's difficult.
Ultimately, the bottom line, and your initial point to start, ultimately the bottom line of Senior Bowl week is to not show the magic of Malik Willis, because the magic of Malik Willis and what he does best is his escapability.
It's when shit breaks down.
His improvisation and also his running ability. So.
Well, and me and you were ranting about this. I don't know why this Senior Bowl puts these quarterbacks under center.
It's stupid.
Let them be. Let them show. They're not going to show that if they've never been under center in these 3 days that, oh, look, they can go from under center.
Yeah.
That has to be taught. That has to be put in. Because
this
is an evaluation. It's an evaluation period. Let these guys do what they do. And guess what? The NFL is mostly shotgun now, anyways.
That's my big point. Is that we talk about like these drills and whatever.
Sunlocked, idiot.
Hey, can you close the door and take off that latch because if we're screaming out in the hallway?
Snacks is. I feel like I'm screaming right now.
Yeah. The difference between those drills is like those drills are drills to how do I want to say this? Those are like real football drills, whereas like under center is scheme. Like you said, the NFL, there are teams that are not under center like ever.
Yeah.
So why force these guys who have, by the way, all 6 of these quarterbacks, I don't think any of them have taken a snap under center at the college level. So all of them had to, and but not just like one snap. It was like half the practice. It's kind of silly because, I mean, this was a sloppy first day. There were balls left on the ground. The snaps were all over. There's no centers here either. So it was a total mess.
Yeah. So Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis were definitely the best QBs on day one. I think you could make arguments for both of those guys to be the best, depending on what you're looking at. All right, let's get some more questions in here.
So let's just do this first. I mean, just in general, James Marshall, I know it's early, but who impressed you the most? Just offense, defense. Let's just talk about some guys maybe in general. I mean, I'll tell you mine.
Neil Farrell Jr. of LSU, defensive tackle.
Definitely.
He won every single rep in one-on-ones. Run and like every single rep defensive tackle out of LSU. He's someone I hadn't watched before I got here. And I was like, Grump, how do you spell his first name? Tell me what's going on with this LSU guy.
Neil, by the way.
I was like, is it Neil Neil or Neil? Because I need to talk about this guy. He impressed a lot. Who was your guy, Justin?
I mean, Jermaine Johnson was the guy that I was most excited to watch heading into the Senior Bowl, but I didn't get a chance to talk to really watch him today. But we did talk about him extensively towards the end of that Talking Football recap.
We missed his best rep of the day. They did a post-practice one-on-one.
Really?
And he ran the fuck over Darian Kennard. check Jim Nagy's tweets. He made Darian Kennard look like a bitch, and Darian Kennard probably
It's
looked like the
good.
best offensive lineman on the American team,
He did. He was the most consistent, I would say.
which is crazy. I didn't expect that out of Darian Kennard.
I didn't expect Chris Paul to look so good. I had watched film on him already, and I was like,
Where's he from? So let's start.
sorry. Chris Paul's from Tulsa. He's an offensive
Wake
tackle.
Forest.
And
That was corny.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Chris Paul, the basketball player, played at Wake Forest.
Oh,
and there's a
lovely.
Kobe Bryant here, by the way.
yeah,
David Stern said they couldn't be on the same team. All right, enough with the dumb, corny NBA jokes.
Chris Paul, he looked pretty consistent. He surprised me. He looked pretty comfortable in one-on-one drills, and at one point, pancaked the shit out of somebody. And I was lucky I was able to get a clip of that. That looked pretty good. But I had already watched him and was not impressed. So this was huge for him, for me.
Yeah, we were talking in the car yesterday, and you're like, Chris Paul sucks. And I was like, I think
He was the guy I had just
I was
watched.
like, I think he's all right, but I was like, I'm not going to argue with him on this one. And then today, I was like, I like Chris Paul more than you. Like,
Yeah.
so
It proved me. Look, I'm
the
here to
small
be wrong.
the small school guys on the American team we were talking about like Cade Mays, in Kennard was definitely, but it's like the small school guys like
Max Mitchell.
Who's from NIU?
You and I.
Excuse me. I don't know.
Northern Iowa.
it's Trevor Penning.
There's a tackle.
Oh
Penning.
yeah, Trevor Penning.
He's on the other
national
team though, right?
Yeah,
National
he
team.
was on the national team. Though.
I gotta get the two.
He
teams.
looked
I
pretty
know.
good. He didn't look great, but he looked pretty good, and you could tell the stuff that he needs to work on can get better. Now,
Yes.
some people have him like Dane Brugler, who I respect a lot, the Athletic, has him as a top 10 guy, which I don't necessarily see that, especially with the other O linemen in the class.
Yeah, I mean, coming out of UNI, I have to see more than just one Senior Bowl practice to do that. I mean,
Well, and
I'm
it's not
going
like
on
he has
film.
flawless film at UNI too. Like there's
Yeah.
flaws to his game.
Well, one of the things you said is that by the third or fourth second of trying to sustain a block, he loses. I think by then he's pancaked most of his competition.
yeah, like he
so-
has great reps, but I don't know. He just sometimes he's not able to stay engaged on guys. Whereas like if he doesn't dominate the guy at first, he's not able to stay engaged.
So hold that thought, Wes, and I know Michael Rossi has been asking a few different times about, because we just talked about the fastball of Malik Willis.
Yeah.
So just a quick little note on that. There was one touch throw, and I think this was during like 11 on 11. One beautiful touch throw that he did give. And again, we broke this down on the Talking Football video tomorrow morning. It was like a 35-yard, streak down the field, and it wasn't just a fastball that he threw in there. He kind of had to put it over the shoulder of a defender, put it over the shoulder of a wide receiver. So that was a really good throw that Malik Willis had. Did miss throws, but he doesn't just have that fastball that everybody's talking about. So, all right, continue with some impressive players, or also our friend Michael Rossi. I'm gonna
Let's try and answer as many
Yeah.
questions as we can.
Yeah.
Well, how about this?
So we don't just do the Talking Football video all over.
Why don't
again.
they have any centers at the Senior Bowl?
That's
crazy.
a brilliant question.
The first team doesn't have any centers, but they moved Cole Strange out of Chattanooga, who looked good. We talked about him. on
And
the video.
and Zion Johnson from
Yeah.
Boston College looked insanely good.
Once they actually started getting into like team competitions, they're like, all right, Cole Strange, you're just going to be the center. Zion Johnson, we need a backup center. You're going to be that. But they kind of kept him at guard, which he's going to play in the NFL. But Cole Strange, like he's intriguing. Like, okay, he can play center prospect after today.
He didn't really look out of place. I mean, if he had a different helmet on, I wouldn't have thought any different.
Yeah,
Right.
and he kind of has like that center size as well too,
He does.
where he's shorter than the other guys.
Most disappointing on day one.
I would say
Ed
Marquise
Ingram.
Hayes or Ed Ingram.
Marquise Hayes, I like, but it's like I didn't expect a ton of him. To me, it'd be, and I know I'm going to get a lot of crap from a certain person who I was defending Ed Ingram to, but Ed Ingram had like the most disappointing day where it's like, he didn't have any really good, like he had bad reps and it's like, okay, we'll recover. And he didn't look that good at the guard out of LSU.
I was really disappointed because I did like a whole episode that aired today and I highlighted, I think, both of those guys, Marquise Hayes and Ed Ingram.
But Hayes' issues were the issues that we already knew about, where Ed Ingram was like, you just didn't look as good as you did on film.
Yeah, I was disappointing for me personally because I had done so much work and I was excited about them. But it's fine. I mean, it's all about improving here with NFL coaching.
Maybe the Carson Strong, the QB from Nevada, where it was like he
Yeah.
had a chance at a nice play to finish 11-11, and he just puts his all into the ball and only goes 50 yards. And
It was a duck too, and it was
Yeah.
up in the air for about 8
It
seconds.
was a defensive pass interference, though. Like it was one of those throws that's so bad it turned into a pass interference. So it would have been a 50-yard gain in the NFL level, but it it was still really bad.
Yeah,
I
but
know
I mean,
one of you just mentioned in the chat a couple minutes ago that Carson Strong is a really strong arm. No pun intended.
And again,
but
it was one throw, so I don't want to judge him off one
but
throw.
I'm saying in response to the chat, Carson Strong probably had the worst day. Now I don't know how much expectations that he has, but at least me, like looking at these guys of trying to project them at the next level and seeing that a lot of the guys with some escapability, not necessarily like being a runner. But you saw from Joe Burrow in the AFC Championship game, like just the level of escapability. I wouldn't call Joe Burrow a mobile guy, but having that escapability and the improvisation from the pocket, I kind of feel like it's necessary.
Well, I mean, it starts
imperative.
with pocket presence and pocket
Right.
awareness, right? I mean, that's the thing that I was watching with Daniel Jones this year because Daniel Jones is too comfortable in a collapsing pocket.
Which is what he was like. His biggest improvement from last year was like his work in the pocket.
Exactly.
But Carson Strong doesn't have that. So I was expecting, I was expecting like this is supposed to be a week where Carson Strong, a guy like that, is supposed to shine and maybe bump up his draft stock. And today, I mean, he was just really, really bad. So if you're wondering about quarterbacks, that's the Carson Strong report. I think he had the worst day. Desmond Ridder also probably had a disappointing day. A little bit more expectations. Robert Schmitz talked a little bit more about that on the Talkin' Football video. Davey Anonymous, thank you for the $2 super chat. Bobby, give us the O-line breakdown. I know you already talked about it a little bit, but anybody else you want to touch on?
Daniel Filio, the tackle in Minnesota, which there should be a film breakdown out on him on the Talkin' Football channel tomorrow, so make sure you subscribe. I thought he was bad in one-on-ones, but I think he's a player who's never going to be great in one-on-ones because he's going to be put in vertical sets and you protect and it's like he's one of those players where in real football, if you can stay healthy at that weight of 387 pounds, I think he's good because he's not going to be put in those situations in the NFL, especially playing right tackle compared to left tackle. So he's one who didn't have a great day. Myjai Sanders from Cincinnati beat him really bad on two one-on-ones.
I like him.
So I'm still interested in him. Now, the issue is for the Giants specifically, I don't think we can take a tackle in round 2, round 3.
Yeah.
Where it's like that kind of has to be a round 1 spot, especially with the talent there. But it's like if we didn't need, Daniel Folio would be someone I'd talk about. And he's 387 pounds. He doesn't look it. He looks like he's 360.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't look fat at all.
No, and
I actually think he could put on weight.
In
his midsection, because he doesn't really bulge at all.
Yeah, no, the crazy thing is that
I have bigger hips than him, which I saw in the Talking Giants picture today.
all right, that's the second time you've talked about
It's
your
stuck in
hips.
my head.
All right, so here's a good question about Jermaine Johnson.
I don't take a lot of pictures, and that was one.
Because I am really I love him. I loved him before I stepped foot in Alabama, and now hearing what he did today, I love him even more. So, but here's the thing that I'm wondering: where is Jermaine Johnson in terms of projection draft board? And Matt BS, does Jermaine Johnson jump into the Karlaftis Ajabo range?
No, I don't think he's.
I have to see him against the run in team drills, and also it's been one day of practice. It's way too early to give me projections.
I think he can be a late round 1 guy. I don't think he's going to jump in the Karloff. No, the Michigan guy I haven't watched actually, but he's not going to jump into that range. But also, what are we laughing at over there? Because I'm actually, was it my Bobby Thompson tweet? Your tweet about they call me the Yankee, and I love these people that actually had. I was in the car with Grump.
I cannot wait to tell you what just happened to me for the last 3 fucking hours.
I know. I'm honestly just want to end the stream and just talk and hang out. And
it's unbelievable.
Can we hook up the 4th mic for snacks? He seems sober enough.
No, I don't.
I am. Which
I'm
is
really
unbelievably insane because they bought me.
We're gonna have a good time tonight.
I spent $1 and they bought me everything.
Oh, good. Then you got full pockets for tonight. There it is.
You do
tonight's on snacks.
You do owe me dinner at least.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
I will get it from Grump because he owes me money.
I do.
I owe him
I told you
too.
that at the beginning. I owe snacks money.
We're going back to that place. They got karaoke tonight. I'm saying.
There's a wings place, Voodoo Wings.
Is it a nice bar?
No, it is nice. They got TVs, everything.
All right, we met some people who wanted to go out there, so I'll tell them that's where we're going.
All right, what is this week's schedule?
All right, this week's schedule. You'll have the Talking Football videos out. I don't know what channels we're going to put up, but we're going to have 3 recap videos that are from the stadium, or hopefully from the stadium. We'll have this live stream every single night. The Talking Giants pod. It's and Simple Man Radio will be out. I think we're just going to do one Simple Man Radio. What do you leave on Thursday?
I leave it Thursday, 5 in the morning.
Oh, so tomorrow night we'll do a Simple Man Radio.
I was going to say we should do leave tomorrow.
I don't know if I have the energy to do Bleeding Blue. I also have to go on a. I have to go. I'm being interviewed tomorrow too. So
Basically, live streams every day and the Talking Football recap of the practice video every day. Those are the ones you should look forward to from Senior Bowl specifically.
how about any sleepers that you wouldn't focus on but grabbed your attention today? I'm pretty sure maybe you touched on some.
Neil Farrell was the one. me.
I would say also the kid from North Dakota, the tackle, Maxwell. Let's go.
Yeah.
I had written off. I didn't do any research on him yet. I wasn't gonna not, but I just didn't get to him yet. And I kept seeing this green helmet. I was like, that wasn't a bad rep. That wasn't a bad rep. That wasn't a bad rep. And I had finally looked up his friggin' number, which, by the way, the rosters have no numbers here. So, and
I think we
the
got
ones,
to email with them, but we got to do
the ones that do also, there's people that are here that aren't on the roster because we were frantically looking for them and they're not here.
So my guy is, I believe it's Keyshawn Camp, and that's the defensive lineman from Pittsburgh, who was number 10 at Pitt, but he was wearing number 91 today.
And the roster ended at 84.
I mean, every single rep he was just winning today, and he was killing. And he's an interior defensive lineman, so keep an eye on Keyshawn Camp. I hope that's him.
I hope that's him too. Yeah, that was our best guess.
So,
yeah.
Thoughts on Christian Watson? Do we have any?
That was Robert was saying he was the clear winner of wide receivers today.
What school is he?
North Dakota State, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay, I remember watching him a little bit, yeah.
Austin Iannetta, we did talk about the tight end class, some of the guys that we like, pretty knee-deep in the Talking Football video.
Yeah, watch the tight end classes might be the best class of players here.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun, yeah.
Like, basically, like, if you're drafting a tight end this year, it's probably coming from the Senior Bowl. I mean, Jake Ferguson looked really good. Trey McBride looked good. Cole Turner, for what he's been in the college, has looked good as a route runner. What's the guy from Greg Ugrich from UCLA? He looked good. Jeremy Ruckert looked like what he is, which is I'm not very excited about. Even the San Diego State guy looked pretty good. All the tight ends might be the most well-rounded group down here.
That one's pretty solid. I think the running backs are pretty solid as well, but there's not really a whole lot to watch.
Yeah, the
here.
running backs, it's running backs and linebackers are kind of a hard position to judge down here.
Any edge standouts? We talked about Jermaine Johnson.
Jay Sanders from Cincinnati,
yeah,
who I wasn't high on coming into this day, but he won the day. Like, not just in one-on-ones, but in team drill. He looked good on every single rep. Like, he had an awesome day. Whereas, like, people were projecting him round 2, and coming into this, I was like, I don't see it. Now it's like, okay, maybe I need to go rewatch and look for some of these things that maybe weren't I didn't see at first watch around.
Was this second team the American team or national team?
American, I think.
They were much better, I think.
It's the South. It's more the Southern
SEC,
guys. It's just bigger and faster.
You lump
It
those
just
guys
But I
in.
mean, so were the O linemen. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the O linemen were also from the SEC, and they were getting their ass kicks.
Yeah, that's the thing. Was like when we were talking before I was like, this offensive line is just bigger and better, and then the D line was whipping their ass. Like the D line beat them like consistently.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Like there's some D line guys I need to learn the names of because of that practice. Like, man,
there were more D linemen here that were not on the roster sheet than there were offensive guys. So that wasn't just us screwing up.
Yeah. And Joe Schoen does have the track record. I mentioned this on the podcast today. Joe Schoen does have I shouldn't say Joe Schoen. Brandon Beane and the Buffalo Bills had the track record of taking defensive linemen in the top 3 rounds. Probably may not mean anything for Joe Schoen, but I mean, those guys we gotta kind of keep an eye on.
You have Dexter Lawrence on an expiring contract at this point, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there's precedent there to get a D lineman this year.
God, time is flying by. That Dexter Lawrence is entering his 4th year.
Who is your tight end 1 in this class? I think we should just
McBride.
Trey McBride. Yeah,
but Jake Ferguson is a real close second for me.
I would say it's very clearly Trey McBride 1, but Ferguson is a really good blocker, and
he's also taller.
Yeah,
he
Trey
has
McBride
the length that
short.
McBride
That's
does
the thing
not
we
have.
noticed. Trey McBride looks small compared to all the other tight ends.
We were talking about edge. Can Sanders play the edge against the run?
That is hard to tell in one-on-ones, and that's really a team drill thing, which is difficult because the defense. Go ahead.
He gets moved. He gets moved.
Yeah,
like you watch him versus Alabama, he gets moved. Even against a team like USF. Like USF, he wasn't getting moved by those guys, but he wasn't setting the edge great. And that's why, listen, I'm not going to totally change what I think of him from one practice. Because my thing was like, I don't know if he's fast enough and has the moves to deal with not being strong. Like he is bad versus the run. So I'm not saying. So like I'm not after that practice. Am I saying Jay Sanders is a top of the round 2 guy? No, but I definitely have a better opinion after this practice.
Yeah, the other thing is against the
he put
run.
Daniel Falil on his ass too, which
That's
Should mean
not
something.
nothing. Yeah, but against the run, all those running plays on 11 on 11, the whole defense knows you're running. So even if he does well there, I'm not gonna check
Yeah.
a box for him. So
Are you guys worried about the interior offensive line class? I would say kind
No.
of no. I
No,
think
I'm
there's a
not-
lot of exciting
Zion
This is-
Johnson set himself as a guy. Like if he's round 2, I might be banging on the table for Zion Johnson.
well, what did I say to you? This is the best year to need to replace 4/5 of your offensive line.
Yeah, and
if there's a year to do it.
Kennard looked good. You know, like
Chris Paul looked fucking good.
Yeah, like there's.
Sorry.
Oh, we can cuss.
Oh, okay.
live stream's different.
Even
do
the
you-
podcast, we've gotten a little loose with it.
Do you guys see a QB that might have a higher upside than Daniel Jones? I mean that means
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis.
The only one with the higher upside. Yeah.
Kenny Pickett, like if from what I saw from Kenny Pickett, I'm keeping Daniel Jones. Malik Willis is the Malik Willis. Let's just be real. Malik Willis is the only QB that I would get behind drafting in this class. Matt Corral, I haven't watched. He's not down here, but all the other top QBs are down here. Malik Willis is the only QB where I wouldn't be bothered by drafting.
Do you think Zion Johnson? That's the question.
I do think
I
Zion Johnson.
quite think Zion Johnson.
Irish Mike says, "Give me Snacks," and that's ironic because Snacks hates the Irish.
Jump on the mic for like a minute while I pee.
There you go. Oh fuck! I hit the whole table. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. We got a super chat. John, thank you for the super chat. For shits and giggles, where would you rank DJ as a prospect coming out if he were in this class? I think that's a fun exercise.
If he were in this Senior Bowl class, because I didn't do the whole
Let's
draft
just
class.
say this Senior Bowl class.
he
Like,
would
where
be he
where
would be
you
the
rank?
most solid. He would be number 1.
Really, he would be number 1.
I think so. I mean, he like we said, he has less upside than Malik Willis. I mean, Malik Willis can be.
You don't think
He looked that good today, Malik Willis.
No, not today, but on what he does best.
Yeah.
he looks good.
he didn't fuck up so much where it's like, shit, he's not good.
Right, because you tweeted out a video, the post route he threw,
Yeah,
and it
the
was
mini
a
post.
dart.
Yeah, man.
He only throws darts.
Yeah.
There's a different.
It's
there's
whether
a-
the dart's a bullseye or not.
Right,
It's
but
up for debate.
he throws it with the different velocity. But I mean, he did show that on that streak route and on the route that was going down the field, he showed that he can take it off. He could take a little bit off when he needs to, and I think that's big. So Irish Mike, you got Snacks. I hope you're happy.
I think. By the way, I think
Hey,
people
Irish Mike.
they definitely underestimate Daniel Jones's deep ball accuracy because they haven't seen it for 2 years.
Yeah.
But it's something that he does incredibly well. That
And he has since day one too.
yes,
so
that
it's
was
not-
what he did well always.
Right. No, he doesn't have the cannon rocket arm like a Josh Allen or anything like that.
But most
he
don't.
But I mean, also
No,
how
exactly. Most don't, and he can make those throws
Yeah.
down the field. To me, I haven't seen it yet, but from what you got, what I've heard from what you've seen at the QBs in just in shorts and in the college level, to me, there's nothing there that's enticing to want to take a QB that would come in right now.
I
So,
agree.
wow, the Talking Football video finally finished exporting on my computer.
I'm very excited for that video to come out.
Yeah, so I mean, it's already 8:00 on the East Coast.
He's
So
just taking the day off.
yeah, Bobby takes the day off. So Grump, this is actually something that I want to hear from you about because you were talking about 3-4-4-3. JD, thank you.
Shut the fuck up.
JD, thank you for
Tell
the
him to talk to
$10
me.
super chat. In regards to the 3-4-4-3 debate, I don't see it being that dramatic of a transition. Leo and Dex are pretty prototypical 4-3 defense tackle duo. It was Z/Carter to defensive end, Jalen Smith middle linebacker, and Blake and Tay outside linebacker. Is that crazy? I mean, also, so here's my take on it. I don't think 3-4-4-3 in the NFL when you're running so much nickel. I don't really think it matters that much. But I know you have you hold it a little bit more dearly. To your
I
heart.
think it's a little bit more screwed up than that, and I also think that 3-4 is mostly what we talk about now in the NFL. There's a lot less 4-3 teams, and it comes down to your edge guys. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
putting their hand in the dirt. And I don't know if Leonard Williams fits in a 4-3 really well. That was actually a question I had, but
He's actually the guy I would worry about the least about that, to be honest.
but that's not really my point. My point is
the one I would worry about.
Aziz would be, I honestly think, probably terrible in a 4-3. But I mean, it's not like, I don't know. My bigger thing is that we invested so much money in Leonard Williams, and for me to say I don't know if he fits very well
Yeah,
in a
that's bad,
4-3,
right?
that's where I was worried.
Why do you say that? Do you think that because they'd move in the defensive end, or like? 'Cause
I don't know.
think he
Would they
just
move
play?
him-
I think he just play
play-
three technique
Y-
over the guard. He's just more consistently over there instead of being in the
2020
3-4 playing over the tackle.
And
which
then
I
Dexter
actually think,
Lawrence
I
would-
actually think it might help Leonard Williams because
You don't think he's a good 5?
no, I don't. I think when they blind him against the tackles, he doesn't. When has Leonard Williams went up against a tackle and done really well?
Well,
You know?
define done really well. What do you want him to be doing?
Winning pass, winning pass.
Getting upfield. Well, none of them get upfield. So I mean,
but Leonard Williams is a defensive tackle. He's not a defensive end.
my point is that if they had a true edge presence for them to worry about, talent helps talent.
I agree, but that would work in a 4-3. If they had George Karlaftis at 5 technique and Leonard Williams at 3, I feel like that helps him more than having Leonard Williams at a 3 and another guy as like a stand-up edge. Not this, and again, Leonard Williams has done really well in the 3-4 too. Like you earned that. Did he earn the contract? But he got that contract in the 3-4 defense.
Don't talk to me about earning. I mean, all right. Anyway, all right. So here,
but not to say that like, oh, he's gonna flourish. But he is my. If there's one player I'm least worried about, it's Leonard Williams. It's Dexter Lawrence. It's Azeez Ojulari. It's Lorenzo Carter probably won't be here. The linebackers, it doesn't matter to me because you're playing 2 linebackers most of the time, anyways.
Look, I got to be honest. I don't think we didn't get to talk about this yesterday, but like Patrick Graham returning this year, how long is that going to go on for? I mean, is he really here 2 years from now?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a stopgap. We may be in a 4-3 2 years from now. I have no idea. But by then, we'll be in a completely different roster situation. Leonard Williams' contract is disposable in 2 years.
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence may not even be here in 2 years. His contract is he's not on the books 2 years from now. So these kind of problems that we have, the only one that would remain really would be Azeez Ojulari. Probably, actually, not that Tate Crowder is like a huge implication here, but I don't think he fits in a 4-3.
All right, Carson asked thoughts on. I've seen this happen. I've seen this come up a few times. Thoughts on Zapp as a late round backup / challenge to DJ. I think both of us, Bobby, were with the understanding, and I was talking to some people that we ran into in the Senior Bowl today. It's like if we're going to take a quarterback, especially if you have somewhat of an answer at quarterback and you're not just looking for anything, don't take the guy round
draft
1.
your franchise QB or don't draft a QB.
Yeah,
that's my.
Right. Take
I've
him round
changed it
1.
to where I used to be like only round 1, but if you think if you see Malik Willis in the second round, you think it could be your franchise QB, didn't take like a Lamar Jackson situation, didn't take him. But I'm big. Here's where I won't change my stance is draft your franchise QB or don't draft a QB. I those picks are wasted 99 times out of 100.
Yeah.
And here come the comments: Tom Brady, Russell Wilson. Those guys are so far and few between. Mike Glennon is an example of a successful late round QB pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I
he
agree with that.
sucks. So I don't. And Bailey Zappi didn't really even look any very good today at all. So
Bailey's a late round quarterback pick is a luxury that only some teams can afford, and that you could maybe
we can't.
You can. Well, I mean, this is the Talking Football channel, right? So I'm trying to be a little less Giants centric here, but that's the kind of thing where if you feel like you've got the traits that you can develop him to put on a 1-game show when you've already won the number 1 seed and your last game doesn't matter anymore, and then you can trade him Jimmy Garoppolo style. That's the only benefit there, and that is a huge luxury. That is a New England Patriots luxury. That is not a.
Well, you think about I guess the Patriots. Here's what the Patriots did well with the backup QBs. Tom Brady played so fucking long that Bill Belichick was able to convince these people that Jimmy Garoppolo was worth a 2nd-round pick, and that Ryan Mallett was worth a 5th-round pick, and Brian like.
Okay, so it's a super luxury.
If those guys played a game, they wouldn't. But played like real reps. Jimmy Garoppolo did look good in those first 3 games.
Okay, what about like Matt Flynn in Green Bay?
He had 1 game and then he
played 1 game.
He got a massive.
It's a wasted pick for Green Bay. How did it benefit Green Bay?
Oh wait, he just earned a contract. They didn't trade him, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay, well, let's just say that he had played that 1 game a year earlier. Perhaps
maybe a 6th-round pick.
Yeah.
So you're drafting somebody in the 4th round to maybe get a 6th-round pick from them.
You really think that with the money that he earned from Miami, that they would have not traded more than a 6th-round pick for him? I don't know. I'm legitimately asking.
Did Miami sign him or Seattle sign him?
Seattle signed him, and then he never started. He never started a game because Russell Wilson.
Right. Seattle signed him. Everyone thought he would go to Miami because that's where Joe Philbin went.
Yeah,
that's my bad.
All right. Thoughts on Isaiah Likely? Honestly, didn't see him much. Was he even out there?
I watched a couple of it.
He got his ass kicked on a blocking drill.
Yeah, but We'll give you more on him tomorrow. There wasn't really much to say.
There was
about
not
him.
much there.
There wasn't anything. I don't think it was anything bad, but I didn't see anything really good either.
I read this comment wrong at first. I thought this person was asking about any good coach's ass, like any good coaches that have some good asses out there.
I get that comment every time I do the coach's resume. I'm like assistant O-line. I do ASS dot. I'm like ass coach.
I don't
Every
know. I
time.
wasn't really. I mean, was anybody paying attention to how assistant coaches were
No,
helping
absolutely
assist the
not.
offensive linemen and stuff like
Absolutely
that? How did Sam Howell look? Yeah, didn't talk about him.
You tell us because you watch that area a little more than us.
Yeah,
Mechanics are good.
yeah. Again, just I feel like almost with everybody except Strong and Ritter, just didn't do anything to be like, wow, that's insane, and didn't do anything to be like, you totally fucked up.
Super weird thing about the quarterbacks. There's 6. They're split into 2 groups, right? 3 and 3. On the one team, they all look like they have like prototypical size, right? With Pickett and them. And then the other team, all of them are like 6 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Howell and Zappe are a little
Like,
short.
Yeah,
Malik Willis looks pretty.
he looked like he belonged among them.
Size, so yeah.
Snacks. Oh, this is good for tomorrow. So you are responsible for this tomorrow. Sean Sullivan, very funny dude. Great idea. Snacks should do a biggest fuck up of the day report so that you're on that.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
we need your
Oh,
notepad. We need your notes report.
because I tried to be the comedic relief, and I have a million things going on, and you're going to do that tomorrow. Yeah, because you ain't fucking helped me out with the technology. Who came to the Senior Bowl with Shane? I could say this quickly. I'm in a bad mood. There was Tim McDonald and Chris Pettit.
Are you sure it was those guys?
I'm 100% Pettit was there, and there was a younger guy that was there, so I'm guessing it's.
Yeah, you totally guessing on McDonald's. Chris Pettit's should just be there anyways as the director of college scouting. So
Fuck him. Sorry.
it's just safe to assume he's there. Which can we say that we ran into Tom Rock and Paul Schwartz, and it looked like they just did not want anything to do with
They
us.
looked at me like I had 3 heads.
And we've never said a bad word about either of
I
those
like
two.
Tom Rock.
I like
I
Tom
love
Rock.
Tom Rock, actually.
I think Tom Rock is very much like I don't care about Twitter.
Tom Rock is hilarious. He's
I
one of
love
my
Tom
favorite
Rock.
Twitter follows.
Can someone clip this and send this to Tom Rock? We love Tom Rock, but he's never even acknowledged us. I feel like he hates us, which I would get. I can understand hating us, but I just want to know: do you hate us or not, Tom?
I put out a.
I hate you guys, and I'm here.
But even if Tom Rock hates us, I'll love him. I will. I will never say a bad word about Tom Rock. I just feel like he might hate us. And now this clip is going to be total guilt trip for Tom Rock to come and say he likes us.
I don't think he's gonna care.
That's okay. Yeah, I don't. Tom.
If he doesn't, I will respect him more.
Yeah, I
if
would
he's like, whatever. If he doesn't respond to it, I'm going to like him more. So someone clip that and tweet it out.
I said Talking
At Tom
Giants, and I mean, I don't know. I have a big ego. If you haven't heard of Talking Giants at this point,
They have heard about Talking Giants. Let's be real.
he did look at me like I had 3 heads, and I felt bad because at first I didn't recognize Paul Schwartz.
Did we not tell Justin he has 2 other heads today?
Never mind.
That's bad. Wait, Joe Clark, thank you so much for
Our guy Joe.
$1.99. Just want to say keep up the great work. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Joe.
Patrick Castro, Snacks, has Justin smoked crack yet, or is Grump going to replace him the week for Simple Man Radio?
Did you see Simple Man Radio and Smoking Woody posted the exact same picture?
That's tough.
Crazy.
Did you see any good-looking running backs?
It's hard to tell running backs down here, but we do like the running back group.
We do. We like
Watch
just
them.
about everybody.
Like
there.
we watched all their film, like Damian Pierce out of Florida. I know you like Rashawn White out of Arizona State. I like a lot. I didn't see Taylor Beatty or Devontae Price. Those were out of Missouri and FIU who I like. So
I don't
running
remember
back
seeing
room-
them either. Yeah.
Cook opted out.
Yeah,
last
Cook
minute.
opted. Yeah, James Cook out of Georgia, and he's probably like bottom of the list of the guys I like.
Also,
that I
other guys
mentioned.
that Jahan Dotson wasn't
Yeah.
here, and
Some
neither
of
was
the-
Devin Lloyd.
Yeah, the best players didn't come, which
And I
kinda
don't blame
sucks.
Devin Lloyd's not here?
I didn't see him.
I didn't see him on the roster sheet either. Did you?
I didn't look at the full roster sheet.
He really doesn't need to be here, to be honest with you.
Yeah. You don't have a ton of round 1 guys here, outside of just, QBs that could go round
Last year,
I mean,
their
he got
round
hurt.
ones were Tony, Leatherwood, and Matt Jones. I think those were their 3 round.
and they
one
kind of
guys
needed
last
to be
year.
here.
We didn't mention this either. For the second team, was that the national team? I already forgot.
American. I don't
American
know.
team. There were like 3 in a row reps where the quarterback got knocked over, and they had
Yeah,
to
that
stop
was
practice
wild.
and gather everyone and yell at them.
So, question for Snacks. This is a good Simple Man Radio topic. What's better, Mobile or Bergen County? I think you're actually thinking about it right now.
He won't admit it, but
Thanks for the coverage, guys. Stay safe. Thank you. Thank you.
Not to worry you, but I just found out it might be snowing in Newark on Friday.
That doesn't worry me at all.
It's.
No, I was talking to Justin.
I don't care.
I'm with you, buddy. Are we on the same flight again?
I don't know.
Okay.
How lucky am I that it's colder in Florida? Like the minute I left for Alabama, like
I
it
got
just,
sunburned
we got
today.
like record cold.
My nose got sunburned. I didn't notice till I was just walking over here.
With receivers made of glass, who are some later round wide receivers that impressed you? Thank you for the $4.99 super chat.
No need for the subtle shot at the Giants, but anyways, honestly, the receiver group is kind of lackluster.
Without Dotson.
Yeah.
Watson.
Jalen Tolbert, the South Alabama guy, Robert Smith was talking about him a lot. Watson.
Calvin Austin, if he wasn't 5'7", would be talked about a lot more.
Bo Melton looked good from Rutgers, but he had drops.
Did he?
Yeah, he had
Okay.
2 drops that I noticed.
Well, no, did he look good? Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't
he
watch
looked
it.
fast, break, in and out of routes quickly. It's just he had those 2 drops.
He's the hardest one for me to watch on film. I
Yeah,
have
'cause
almost
Greg
no
Schiano
notes on him.
Ran the ball 60% of the time and put him on curl routes the other, 20% of the time.
Sanders from Ole Miss is fast and fun.
Yes. Yes, he is.
I don't
forgot
know
about
if I don't know if he's good, but he's fast and fun at
Same.
Senior Bowl.
Last year's receiver group was so much more fun. You had Tony, you had Amari Rogers, you had Dwayne Eskridge, you had Demetric Felton for me. Like there was the wide receiver group, even like some of the lower guys like Grimes from Florida. The receiver group, Josh Palmer from Tennessee. The receiver group last year was the group to watch, and this year I feel like it's the group to not watch.
Yeah.
This year it's the O-line.
Yeah, and QBs just being star-studded all over.
Yeah, this is like the top of the QB class is all here besides Matt Corral from Ole
Yeah.
Miss.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, thank you. You guys are great. Thanks for the entertainment on Tuesday night. Well, guess what? We're going to do it on Wednesday night. We're going to do it on Thursday night. And we're going to have, again, just in case you missed the beginning of the stream, pinned comment is the Talkin' Football channel. Tomorrow morning,
Very worth
I've
watching.
decided at 9:15 a.m., you are going to get a 24-minute video that is going to be us 3 plus Robert Schmitz from Windy City Gridiron. We're going to be recapping day 1 of Senior Bowl, talking about some other players we haven't talked about today, or going more in depth. And you also
Very much worth watching that video.
you could always replay this live stream too, but also you don't have to replay the live stream if you were late, because that 24-minute video is going to be pretty cool. So
what
I
are we at
appreciate everyone
time-wise
watching.
right now?
We're at 46 minutes, but I'm also kind of behind
let's
on
go
the chat.
Let's go a couple more.
Yeah.
A few more questions.
Tudo, salute, fellas. Just dropped by to pay.
And let me guess, he's telling us to beat the shit out of Eagles fans.
Yeah, I would the stinky Boyd's losers to the ground. No way out. So there you go. Did you say hi to Shane? I did say hi to Shane.
I was thinking about getting him a stick. Justin called me and asked if I want to come and get it. I was like, no. I need to get bullied into making people uncomfortable.
I mean, I was ready. All I wanted you to do was give me the sticker so I can give it to him. That's what
I
I was
didn't
proposing.
understand that.
No, that's what I was proposing.
So I couldn't hear you well.
So yeah, I did see Joe Schoen. As he was walking, he was on the phone a lot towards the second practice of the day. That's when the lawsuit was kind of announced. So he was on the phone a lot towards the second practice. And when he was off the phone and he was walking by me, he was about 10, 15 feet away from me. I said, Joe, congrats on the job, blah, 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 blah. And he gave me a thumbs up and a smile. And I appreciated that. I
First
felt warm.
critique of Joe Schoen, ignore the lawsuit. Just to do your job. First
Okay.
critique of Joe Schoen. Just ignore. Watch the players.
Just hang up the phone. Don't talk to John.
And we're assuming that he's talking about that on the phone. He could have been talking about he could be hiring an offensive coordinator for all we know.
What do you mean?
Good
This
point.
live stream is messy AF, and I love it. Structured podcasting be damn. This is not messy.
We're just answering questions.
I feel like it's a
if
little
this
more
is messy,
structured
it's
than
because
we
your
usually
questions
on
are
live
messy.
It's definitely a little more messy.
I'm swinging it right back around. I think we're pretty organized, man. We've been doing nothing but work since we've been.
We
here.
haven't done a live stream in a long time though, so people are used to the podcast where it's very organized. The live streams we haven't done since the season.
How did Carson Strong look? Not strong.
Bad.
We talked about
good.
him.
But he can improve. It's a week process. He won't. But
Tudo,
anybody we say is bad.
Tudo, thank you for your super chat. Let's wish us wins for upcoming playoff games
Cut it
against
out
big
like that.
teams, and also pray for opponent teams, players' casualties because they're going down fast.
Did he just pay $5 to say he hopes people die?
I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure there's been some Schwartz slander on the pod. Our pod, probably.
The only time I could think about was the Chris Mara article.
Yeah,
where
really.
we talked, but that wasn't Paul Schwartz slander.
No, the biggest slander that I think Paul Schwartz gets is that he's just a little bit of a shill for John Mara, and that's not that big of a deal.
I think we've made some but I like Paul.
Yeah, I like him
you
too.
guys know us. We're very clear on who we like or don't like.
been a lot better.
Yeah, I like Paul. And Tom, I've never said a bad word about ever. There was one other person that we actually connected with that I won't say his name until we connect before I start talking. But he's also someone that we like that we never connected with.
Silo Ren, we talked a lot about tight end. We talked a lot about tight ends in the Talking Football video, so you don't even need to rewind this live stream. Thoughts on Wendell? Would you talk about Wendell Robinson a little bit?
I don't even know who that is. to be honest.
Did somebody just joke me into saying something?
I don't
No.
know who that is.
Wendell Robinson. Maybe not seen
Brian Robinson.
I don't know.
Choo.
How did the Austrian tackle look?
Bernard Raymond. Not bad, actually. Both the Central Michigan guys looked okay.
Yeah, nothing great, but not bad. He's someone that I've been watching.
But also, like, I mean, he's a guy who, by all accounts, shouldn't be doing very well. I mean, he didn't even go to high school in the States.
I mean, moved from tight end a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Can I be honest? And this isn't. I'm saying this in not a bad way. Actually, I'm not gonna say. He's just kind of like he looks like Nate Solder,
Oh, okay.
and he moved from tight end the way Nate Solder. His film is, but his Nate Solder wasn't the worst tackle in the world the first 8 years of his career. He wasn't great. That's
He was advanced in age when he was acquired by Giants.
yeah, oh, with the Giants, he's been horrible.
Yeah.
Even his last year with the Patriots wasn't good, but I was just like, it feels like I'm watching Nate Solder a little bit. But Nate Solder was a first round pick too. So
Well, who gives if Nate Solder is your backup tackle? Is that the worst thing in the world?
this past couple of years, yeah.
I'm talking about in his prime.
No.
Exactly.
no.
So, I mean, Bernard Raymond is probably not going to be a first round pick the way Nate Solder was. But if he plays at that level and is a later round
There's
pick,
people who think he is though.
I so far don't think that because
either.
of the tackle class and how strong it is. I don't think he's in that group.
Me either.
What Saints coaches in front office there love the channel, just subscribed? Well, Michael, didn't necessarily keep an eye on. Thank you for just subscribing. Didn't keep an eye on any Saints people. That's actually interesting because what's going on there? I heard at one point that the GM for the Saints was also the GM of the Pelicans.
That changed a couple of years ago.
Which the fact that was even a thing.
I think it was the owner.
The fact that was even a thing was bizarre.
I think that was the owner.
Oh man.
We were trying to keep our eyes open for staff that we saw. Some people walk around in team gear, but like 99% of them do not. So it comes down to facial
There was
recognition.
one guy just wearing Giants gear. I don't know who he was. Like he was with. I don't know.
But he was also in the staff parking lot.
Did you see two people walking out when we were recording the Talking Football recap?
They're the digital. They're like
That's the media
They're
team.
media people.
Matt Seatak who does like the. It was like
They
the
were right
production
in front of us actually.
It
when
was
we
the
were on that end of
production
the
team
stadium.
for John Smeal.
Introduce yourself again, Grump. Who is this guy on the left? Frankie G asks.
My name is Mike. I am the Football Grump. On Twitter, I'm football_grump.
We didn't ask you to plug your Twitter account, but
I also run the Just Giants podcast, which has a YouTube channel, and we're on audio only. We're on every
again, we
platform.
didn't ask you to plug your podcast. either.
So I have a co-host, the Cranky Fan, who is not here. He's in
we'll
Florida.
see you guys tomorrow.
This is the second beer, by the way. We've been doing nothing
Actually,
but working.
this is
today.
my third. I had one before you got
You
here.
son of a bitch.
If you could own one team, not the Giants, who would it be?
Football or any team?
The Jets.
Sure.
New Jersey Generals.
No, it would be the Bucks. I would like to live in Tampa.
I'd want to own the Raiders.
I wouldn't. I would never.
Why?
wanna
So
live
you
in
can
Las
move
Vegas.
your city every 8 years or something?
I think I just look very slim and black.
Okay. I would do the New Jersey Generals. That'd be my team.
Did you guys see the Washington Foreskins tweet that was promoted?
Oh
by the
my
official
God.
account?
We were dying.
It was real. It was
And promoted. It was a promoted tweet.
Yeah, someone hacked the Washington football team's Twitter account and said our new name and logo, and
It was like a penis.
it's the Washington Foreskins, and it was a
was a-
promoted.
it was a red
promoted
penis.
tweet. It was like
Yeah.
very. Was it like just to do that is a great troll, but to make it as a promoted tweet is like just
That's-
an extra layer of a prank.
The FBI left us a $5 super chat, and it's asking about the 5th and the 7th pick. We're going to stick to the analysis right now for the Senior Bowl guys.
Way too early to be talking
We
about the draft.
have about, what is it, February?
Evan Neal or Akam Ikwanu, and maybe one of those edge guys.
We have February, March,
or
and
Kenyon
April.
Green.
February, March, and for the 5th
love
and
Kenyon
7th.
Well, I'll have a mock draft coming out probably Wednesday next week.
That's perfect. So then you have that to look forward to. Talking Football channel or Talking Giants channel?
Talking
Just
Giants.
Talking Giants channel. Just sure that too. Danny Behan said, "Sup, turds."
Unsubscribe to Just Giants podcast if you already
No,
are subscribed.
I'm fucking with you.
How are the security guys this year, Bobby?
They were cool.
We didn't really interact with them. Like
They
we
were
did last year.
dancing.
We interacted with some other people.
Oh yeah, the one lady was dancing.
She was
Yeah,
killing
we
it.
interacted with real people, like real people who we should be interacting with. So I didn't get to talk with the security guard like I did last year.
Malik Willis and I danced to Beauty and the Beast by Justin Bieber in the middle of practices. So QB won.
I think we should roll Daniel Jones next year.
Do we run into any more cool people? That's what Julian also asked.
We
previously.
only ran into cool people.
That's
We
true.
met Danny Friedman of Fansided. He Robert Smithson, some of his Bears guys, and then we ran into a couple guys who I guess we shouldn't. Maybe they don't want to be.
Yeah,
talked about,
that was-
but basically like kind of important people who you wouldn't know their names, and they like came and found us, which was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Anybody outside of who I don't know that came up to us when you guys were like,
Oh, I
over
went
there.
and said hi to John Smeal for a little bit, talked to
Oh,
him for a little
okay.
bit.
Lovely. I mean, I know you did that.
Which I was like, I don't know if that guy hates me or not, and and he doesn't.
I don't think he does.
He
No.
doesn't. He doesn't. I found out
No.
he doesn't hate me.
I don't think he does.
You think he was telling you the truth?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep Danny Behan's comment of sup turds up here. So I'm really hungry,
Oh, okay.
and I feel like we've reached a good point where we're getting it's slowing down in terms of draft prospect questions.
I
We're
wish this was my room because I would 100% throw
Smash
this
this bottle.
bottle at snacks right now.
55 minutes in, so it's still good re-listenability.
Can I bust this bottle against the wall, please?
Please, no.
We can vacuum it up and clean it up. We can
There's
do it
a
ourselves.
lot of
There's a vacuum in that closet.
There is?
No.
Oh.
no. You know what's funny? I walked into this room and I actually tried to move that mirror because I thought that it was one of those things that, oh, there's a closet behind
It usually
here.
is a closet, right?
Because I really wanted to hang my fucking shirts, but no.
I'm
Of
about
course
to
not.
bust this bottle up against
Excuse
the wall.
me. All right, so that's the live stream. We'll see you tomorrow morning
Talking
at
football. Subscribe to Talking Football.
9:15 a.m. 24-minute recap of day one of the Senior Bowl. It's nice and short. And then we will also be back for a day 2 recap live stream tomorrow night. Then Talking Football again. We will have the day 2 recap video. A lot. And then Thursday night, we're going to be recording Talking Giants. Friday morning, the podcast comes out. And we're going to keep rolling here at the Senior Bowl. But we got to eat. We're going to have some fun tonight. And then
We're going to get Justin to smoke crack.
I have a lot of cigars I need to smoke. So
we're putting it in the cigar.
Dude, I might do karaoke. All right,
We're doing karaoke.
I was actually at Applebee's karaoke the other night. And why did I go to Applebee's? Because I went to this restaurant, so it's open till 11. And I get there at 9:50, and they're like, and I was like, where can we sit? And they're like, well, we close in 10 minutes. So their website was wrong, their sign was wrong, and the only thing that was open near me was a freaking Applebee's. So I went to Applebee's on karaoke night while the O'Galley High School women's basketball team was singing their asses off.
And you didn't join.
Oh no, I did not join.
also, I mean, a lot of you are asking.
Some good song selections though, and there was one drunk old lady yell like. So the karaoke guy just started going off on one of the songs. I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't like a song you would like. You had to be really comfortable in your skin to go off on. And the old lady at the bar is just standing. I'm like, yeah. And then he went to a different song. And she's like, you went from that to that, and that was my Thursday night last week.
There you go. All right. A lot of you are asking also some personal questions. We have like a very like
How personal?
I mean, not like personal where it's uncomfortable, but like how many beers does it take? for
12
you to get,
inches.
like blasted. That's like so
That one really got you?
So go subscribe to also Simple Man Radio. We'll be doing Simple Man Radio tomorrow night too. So all right, peace. Love you all. Hungry. I'm gonna punch the shit out of snacks. Goodbye. Love you all.
See
Thanks
you
for watching.
guys.